My writing routine consists of waking up, brushing my teeth, doing yoga, and writing. In this video, I will explain how this simple writing routine has helped me write over 100 articles in my first year as an online writer. Hi there, my name is Trin, and on this channel I'll be exploring topics on writing, personal development, and making money in a way that feels good. So I hope that you follow me along this journey. So this video will be divided into 4 parts. Number 1, we're going to be discussing why this simple writing routine works. Number 2, why you're struggling building a writing habit. Number 3, how can you create a writing routine that works for you? And number 4, what are the benefits of developing a writing habit? Like I've said, my writing routine is very simple. I wake up, I do yoga, and then I do writing, and then the next day I do it again. I wake up, I do yoga, and then I publish. So this routine pretty much guarantees to post at least 1, 2, or maybe 3 articles per week. I use a platform called Medium. That's really where I post my articles. So I developed this habit thanks to a program called Get 30 for 30, which I took back in February of 2021. So when I joined this program, it was to publish every single day for 30 days. And so I needed to develop a writing routine that was going to work for me if I wanted to be successful in this program. So let's talk about why does this routine work. This writing routine works because it follows the 4 laws of behavior change, as James Clear talked about in his book Atomic Habits. He says that there's 4 rules to build a habit, and that's basically the whole premise of this book, is how can you build a habit that is easy enough that you're going to keep doing it over and over again. Number 1, make it obvious. I feel like I'm going to repeat this over and over again, but basically after I wake up, I go straight to the bathroom and brush my teeth, and then I do yoga. So my yoga mat is already laid out on the floor. It's red, it's obvious. So that was the first habit that I built, and then once I built that habit, I stacked my writing habit on top of that. So I have my iPad on the dining table, and that's my cue that I need to start writing once I do my yoga. So this method just really helps me to visualize what I need to do, that it becomes automatic. I'm done yoga, I need to start writing now, and then over time that just becomes automatic. Your brain doesn't even have to think about it. The second law, according to James Clear, is to make your habit attractive. So for me, writing is attractive in the sense that when I write, I have this thought of I'm going to build an influence, I'm going to make an impact online. So even though the results are so far away or non-tangible and I can't see it, just thinking that it will give me good results was enough for me to be an attractive habit. For me, going to the gym is very hard to do. It's not a very automatic habit for me. I really have to push myself, but I usually use my travel adventures to go to the gym. So when I travel, it's like, okay, I have to look good. And for me, the habit of working out is attractive because I can imagine myself looking good on my trips. So that's really what the attractive part is when it comes to building habits. The third law of behavior change is make it easy. Once I'm done yoga, I walk a couple of steps to the dining room, sit down, open Notion, start a new page, and then start writing. James Clear talks about the 2-minute rule in his book. This is where he says, when you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do so. That's pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward. So when you start a new habit, it has to be 2 minutes or less to do so. Otherwise, it's going to be hard. Your brain's going to perceive it as too hard. You're going to give up. So the 4th law of behavior change is that your habit needs to be satisfying. Personally, when I write, I feel very satisfied once I have a 5-minute, 10-minute, or 30-minute session of just writing for myself. Whatever it is I'm writing about, I actually feel very satisfied doing it. I don't need people to tell me that, oh my god, from the act of writing itself, I find satisfaction. I think that's very important to recognize, is that whatever task that you're doing, whether it's making videos or podcasting or traveling, you have to have a sense of satisfaction for you to do it over and over again. For my YouTube habit, what I've been doing is documenting my progress. So for example, when I script, I write how much time exactly I've done doing that. When I film and edit, how much time did it take me to do do that. And those little things really just helps me visualize my progress. And for my writing, I do that as well. So this kind of really helps me see that I'm making a lot of progress, because a lot of the times we feel like when we don't have external results and we don't feel that we're making any progress, then we tend to give up on the thing we just started. I feel that if you track it visually, whether it's on paper or digitally, then you can kind of see that you're actually making progress, and that it's just in your brain that you're not. So let's talk about why you're struggling to make a writing habit. Basically, it goes back to the 4 laws of behavior change by James Clear. At some point, the routine you're trying to create has a lot of friction. So maybe when you're starting to write, it takes you more than 10 minutes to sit down in front of a computer. Or when you say that, oh, I have to do this first before writing, then those small actions will create a lot of friction, and then you'll keep procrastinating and you'll keep saying, oh, I'll do it later and later, and then that never comes, and then you just forget about it. So that's one thing that I would think of why you would be struggling. So if you're struggling, I would break down all the action and behaviors that gets you from point A of wanting to write to point B of actually writing, and then what happens in all those points, and then see if you can try to improve any of these aspects to make it more attractive, more obvious, easier, and satisfying. So how can you keep building the writing habit? So let's move on to the next part, which is how to create a writing habit that works for you. It's going to go back to the 4 laws of behavior change, and we're going to go through each law one by one. So number 1, make it obvious. How can you make your laptop, your paper, your iPad, your phone, whatever it is that you use to write, so obvious that when you see it, it's a trigger to your brain that, oh, I have to start writing. Maybe you need to use a different item. I associate lighting up a candle and playing music on Spotify to start my freelance work. So how can you make it as a cue or a trigger to your brain that you need to start writing? So that's the first step. Number 2, you have to make it attractive. How do you make it attractive? Think of a personal motivation of why do you want to write online? Why do you want to do this? Is it to make an impact? Is it to make an influence? Is it to make money? A lot of these things are really going to come from a personal motivation, a strong why of why you're going to show up, because without motivation, it's going to be hard for you to start writing things. If you can imagine yourself, let's say you're writing and then people message you saying, hey, your writing is so good, it helped me, and maybe this, maybe that. If having those thoughts makes the habit attractive to you, then hold on to those thoughts, because that's what's going to help you to keep showing up, because nobody else is going to motivate you. So the 3rd law is to make it easy. Again, we've talked about this with the 2-minute rule. This is probably the easiest way to explain this, is that how can you make your writing habit start that it's easy? Do you need to have your Google Doc prepped the day before? Do you need to have it open right away? These little things, they make a lot of difference when it comes to building a habit. They seem very minor, but these are the things that actually help. For me, it takes 10 seconds to open up Notion, and when there's more than that, I get impatient and then I leave. So I made that easy for myself. So how can you make that easy for yourself too? The 4th law is to make it satisfying. So how can you make your practice, your writing habit satisfying? Do you have to give yourself a reward? This one is kind of tricky because you have to have an internal fulfillment for it to work, because if you're depending on people, it's like, oh, if people like my posts or comments, it's going to be very hard for you to show up, because those are things you cannot control. So to make it satisfying, you have to find joy in the process of writing, of publishing, of sharing your words out there. So how can you give yourself the ability to make this writing habit satisfying? You can use rewards, incentives, whatever else you need to do, just make it happen. So the last part I wanted to talk about is the benefits of building a writing habit. I developed a writing habit because I just found that I like writing, and then I wanted to take it seriously, not knowing where it was going to take me. And then when I realized the potential of it, I decided to go all in it. So by all in, I meant that I took writing courses, I joined a bunch of writing communities, and I was able to quit my job doing freelance writing because I'm kind of comfortable writing online. So that's one aspect of it. The second is that writing online will help you attract the opportunities for yourself, whether it becomes a job opportunity or a business partnership, collaborations, interviews, or workshops. So there's so many opportunities online. Writing seems like a very underrated skill, but it is one of the skills that I recommend. I hope that this video inspires you to develop a writing habit, and I hope that you can create a writing routine that works for you. If you have any writing routine that you'd like to share, let me know in the comments how you develop this writing habit.